What's up, Buggo Nation? Welcome to the Pirates Live 412 Weekly Show. I'm Mason Spesk, your host. Today, we're going to discuss on our weekly show what we always do. It's basically just the same thing. We will go through and recap the Pirates series this past week against the Dodgers and Marlins. We will name a star of the week this week. We will then go into look at the standings, the MLB standings, and discuss those. We'll then look at the minor league baseball standings and discuss those and look at how our minor league clubs are doing. We'll talk some about our top prospects. And then we will look ahead to this road trip against the Athletics and the Rockies coming up that the team recently departed for this evening. So, yeah. Couple quick things though first. Couple housekeeping things first before we get started. Number one. I know how I had mentioned about this show and what the future of this channel is and what we're going to try to do. I unfortunately did not get finished with my master plan this week. I've been working on it, but did not get finished with it either the past 2 weeks. I'm more likely than not finishing it this week. So we will discuss that next week on the show. I can't promise anything, but I could darn near promise we're going to have a plan for you next week on the show. So yeah, that's that. What's the other thing? Oh, number two. Before we talk about the Pirates, as you all know, I'm starting another channel for my collegiate team. I'm going to be a senior at the University of Pittsburgh, where I study business analytics and business information systems. And I'm starting a channel called Panthers Live 412 on August 16th. However, I do want to talk about a college sports issue on this channel today. I know it's not related to baseball at all, but I do want to address it because it's very important for the future of sports. As we probably all know, this past Monday, Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby was awarded his eligibility back. The NCAA initially took his eligibility away because of the fact that he placed bets and had a gambling addiction and entered therapy for the gambling addiction. And a lot of those bets were on his own team, the Indiana Hoosiers, when he was there in 2022. He was the quarterback for them before Cignetti got there. I feel that college sports is setting a very dangerous precedent here, not just for college football and NCAA-sponsored sports, but also for professional sports as well. I listen to the GM Shuffle. It is an amazing podcast. It's a football-related podcast every Monday. Even they were talking about it. This is a very serious matter. Because now, in my opinion, it doesn't only set a precedent for college sports. It sets a precedent for professional ones as well. That it's okay to bet on your own team, but if you have money and you have leverage in a court of law, that you could play and face no consequences. Now, I understand that college football is much different than college or MLB. It is. College football, as a whole, does not have a commissioner. And Nick Saban is right. They probably need one. They have a playoff committee that decides who gets in. The NCAA does have a president who is Charlie Baker, who was the former governor of Massachusetts. The MLB has a direct commissioner. If Brendan Sorsby did something like this, or if an MLB player, say, did what Brendan Sorsby did, this probably would not happen. And that's relieving. However, I think we do need to talk about it because of how it impacts sports as a whole. And like I said, I'm not going to talk about sport, non-baseball topics much on this channel. But I want to talk about this one because obviously I don't have my Panthers channel up yet, and I'm getting one. So in the future, stuff like this would be on there. But I wanted to discuss it tonight because it does impact all sports. You can't have a league or a sport that says it's okay to bet on your own team. The cardinal rule of sports for the longest time has been this. It affects the integrity of the game to bet on your own team or to bet on yourself. And it 100% does. So I'm very concerned about the future of college sports, especially college football. Something needs to be done, and something needs to be done fast, because it's gone so far out of control. And with the upcoming MLB-CBA negotiations, which are already off to a very ugly start, I'm afraid that that's going to get out of control too. And that you might, I think this is extremely, extremely, extremely unlikely. But you might have a player or two that brings up the idea of like allowing them to bet, baseball players to bet, on like more so than they are now because of this. I just want to be clear and concise with where I stand on this. Betting on your own sport is like the worst thing you could do, and on your own team. It's scary, it's concerning, and it cannot be allowed. Something's got to change, something's got to change fast. Anyway, though, that's all I have for that topic. Let's not talk much about that topic. Let's focus more or less now on the Pirates and the MLB tonight. Like I said, we're going to run through this show here. Let me just get my laptop out so I can have it on my lap as I speak to you guys. But we're going to run through here. I want to get this adjusted a little better. Oh, you can't see my shirt anyway. Now you can. I don't want you to see the laptop, but I want you to see the shirt. See something. There's that. Alrighty, so now let's start off by talking about the Pirates this past week. We're going to first step, as I mentioned, we're going to recap these series against the Dodgers and the Athletics now. So let's get into it. Shoot, that took me to the July calendar. Alright, hang on. Sorry, guys. Come on. Okay. First off, I want to start with Monday. We didn't play on Monday. However, something truly amazing happened on Monday. Paul Skeens was in his pickup truck driving home from something. And in the North Hills, there were these little kids, or not little kids, I'm sorry if that upset people, but these kids that were playing ball. It was a Little League team practicing baseball. Paul Skeens noticed them, and he decided to stop by and say hi to them, and it turned into nearly 2 hours of him just hanging out, playing catch with the kids, signing autographs, hanging out with them, working with them. God bless Paul Skeens, and shout out to Paul Skeens for doing what he did. That was freaking beyond incredible. Beyond incredible. That was awesome. Shout out Paul Skeens. That's all I'm going to say there. So that was great. God bless him. All right, now on to Tuesday night. Skeens gets to start against the Dodgers. It doesn't go terrible. He allows 2 runs. We get off to a nice start by taking a 2-0 lead. We lead 2-1 like in the 6th. Dodgers get a run then to make it 2-2. Skeens gets chased. They pull him after it's a 2-2 game, and then they put in Wilbur Dotel. The Dodgers lineup attacked Wilbur Dotel. There was rain but no delay. It was like 15 minutes in between outs. Like it took us 15 minutes in the top of the 6th or 7th to get an out. That was not pretty, and the Dodgers ended up winning this game 12-3. You can't have this happen. Like, we have a problem with relievers. It's almost like beating a dead horse at this point. I'm not going to really harp on it a whole lot because it's not worth harping on. Because we know this is a problem, and we just know it. We know it. So yeah, that's the thing. So it was just, I don't know, just about a loss for sure. Wednesday night, this is probably the game of the year for the Pirates outside the Twins win, the Brian Reynolds walk-off. We were down, we fell down early. We were down 6-1, and then Tyler Callahan guided a comeback for the ages. He hit a home run earlier. Then somebody else hit a home run. It was 6-4 then. I think, no, it was, nobody hit a home run. Lau hit a double to make it to cut the lead from 6-1 to 6-3. Then we got some more another run, made it 6-4, and then Callahan comes up in the bottom of the eighth, hits his second home run of the day, right field again, and it's 7-6. Then Horowitz hits another home run to make it 9-6. So we turned a 6-1 deficit into a 9-6 lead. And that was huge. So that's that. The Dodgers, though, wouldn't go away as Shohei Ohtani hit a home run off of Gregory Soto to cut the lead to 9-8. Pirates still got the outs they needed to get the job done, securing the W, 9-8 victory. This was an awesome victory. It made me feel so good. I was so happy about this win. So happy. So, great to see for sure. Good 9-8 win. Thursday night wasn't as great, though. We did give ourselves a chance. Crawling back from deficits numerous times. There was one that was like 5-4. It was 5-0. Then we crawled back and made it 5-4. It looked like it was going to be deja vu from Sunday night or from Wednesday night. It just, unfortunately, it was not meant to be, as the Dodgers scored the runs needed off of, I forget who, maybe Bourgeois. They made it 8-4. We managed to get it to 8-6. I felt like we gave ourselves a good chance in the bottom of the night or the bottom of the eighth. Then they put in, Dave Roberts came out and he put in Tanner Scott. Scott is a very good closer, and he shut us down, unfortunately. We had the best part of our lineup going, too. Unfortunately, it was not enough to solve Tanner Scott, and the Dodgers took a win, 8-6. So, yeah, that was that. So, it wasn't a bad series, but it certainly wasn't a good one against the Dodgers, losing 2-1. This was like our first series loss to the Dodgers at PNC since 2021, which is rather unfortunate for sure. We won the series against them in 22. I forget the one in 23. I don't remember much from it, but I guess we won that as well. And I guess Pennsylvania. Oh, good news. I have the TVs on in the background here on mute. I guess on Fox News it says how Pennsylvania is cracking down on fraud, and they're about to interview the Attorney General of Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania leads the nation in fraud convictions right now. So that's a good thing. That's a shout out. We don't like fraud. So sorry to interrupt, but I just figured I'd share that with you. That is great news. So God bless Dave Sunday, our Attorney General. Good job by him. But anyway, good job by Pennsylvania. It's a great state to live. I highly recommend it. West side is better than the east side, except for May 15th through the 17th, unfortunately, because the Phillies swept us. We play the Phillies, though, in 2 weeks again, so hopefully we get back. Anyway, back to baseball now. Dodgers, that was just like 23, we won the series. I forget how, but we did. 24, we won the series 2-1, and then last year we swept them. And this year we lose the series with our best team since Charrington took over. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that we lost this series. I know the Dodgers are a good team, and I know we're kind of depleted, but I'm very disappointed that we lost this series. I'm very disappointed in the homestand we had in general. Very disappointed. Anyway, now on to Friday against the Marlins. Things were good. It was 2-2 most of the game. We hung in there well. We took our swings. We did a great job with taking chances. And it was 2-2, and it was good till it was 2-2. However, Wilbur Dotel was put in, and like Tuesday night, it was an implosion with multiple home runs, multiple hits, and the Marlins shipped out to an 8-2 lead. Somebody here, let's see, I think it was Brandon Lau. I'm almost positive it was Lau. Let's look in the notebook. Made it, where is this? Okay. Brandon Lowe, yeah. Brandon Lowe. He cut the lead, cut it to 8-3. So, Brandon Lowe hit a home run. And that was your final. Again, we can't trust these longer relievers right now. Carbon is like the only longer reliever we can trust right now, and that's the problem. This bullpen's an issue. I don't know how many times I have to say it for them to hear me. Like, it's almost like you're talking to a kindergartner and you're telling them, like, okay, so a kindergartner brings orange juice to school. Every day they put it on their desk in the same exact place, and every day, guess what? They knock their arm against it when they're writing to take notes on spelling, phonics, grammar, whatever the heck they're doing, and the orange juice spills. This happens every single day. And guess what the kindergartner continues to do? Put the orange juice in the same place. That's what I feel like it is. I think we're harping on dead ears here and that they're not listening to us. Like, they should know that this bullpen is an issue. Like, this bullpen, we've lost 36 games this year. This bullpen has probably lost us about 12 to 15 of those 36, maybe even half. That's a problem. This team is good enough to be real freaking good. The pitching is there most nights. The hitting is there most nights. The bullpen is what's holding this team back. Like, seriously. And what happened to this bullpen? Like, it was so good a year ago. So good. And now look. It's just disappointing. It's just very, very disappointing. I mean, I'm disappointed. Yesterday, because it's 9:36, this is the earliest to film this, so thank God I'm filming it early. But anyway, Marlins, we beat the Marlins 3-2 yesterday. This was good for sure. Shout out Bubba Chandler. He had a great freaking day. That was freaking phenomenal. I am so excited. I was so excited and happy for him. He had a great day. The bullpen actually did a good job. Soto did a great job. Triolo did a great job getting out Ruiz. We did a great job holding the fort down. So I was very impressed to see that. Great freaking job. So shout out to them. That was a great well-earned win yesterday. Today was a little disappointing for sure. A 4-2 loss for the Marlins. I just got done filming the postgame show for this. So I'll get into it some, but not a little bit. There is a postgame show. It's going to be up along with this. Probably a little sooner, actually. But anyway. Skeens, he had a quality start. He only allowed 2 runs, which is really good. And they were both home runs in the top of the second. But other than that, the dude was spotless again. He left when we were down. Like, they pulled him when we were down 2-1. And then things imploded with Benoit. Benoit allowed 2 more runs. I just got done with a lecture on the weekly show about how it reminds me of the elf on the shelf. You all know, I'm sure you all know or have had elves on the shelves in your house at Christmas time. If you don't know what it is, you go to the store, you buy a book, you read it to your children name the elf, and every day, or every night when the children are sleeping, the elf goes to the North Pole to report back to Santa about how the children behaved that day, and every day he's in a new location, so when the children wake up at Christmas time, during the Christmas season in December, they wake up every day and they conduct like a search party around the house looking for the elf. The reason I bring the elf on the shelf up is because in that elf on the shelf, the book about the elf on the shelf, there is a picture of this girl, her elf on the shelf watching her, skating on ice, smiling, when there's a sign in the background that says, danger, do not skate, this is thin ice. That's almost like what Kelly and Murphy, but more so Kelly, are doing every time when they go to the bullpen and they get somebody like Benoit out of it. They're skating on thin ice. They know the consequences. They know the trap they're walking into, yet they still walk into it anyway. That's the problem. I understand you have to manage arms. I understand it's a long season, but you gotta do something. Like, this cannot continue. You can't tell me that nobody is willing to trade you a bullpen arm. Come on now. Seriously. Like, is this the best we could do? Come on. I'm just disappointed about this bullpen. And plus, the worst part was this. We're down 4-1. B-Ray hits a home run off the Marlins closer, Pete Fairbanks. Makes it 4-2. But why does it allow those runs, or you have Madsen in there, or somebody else in there that doesn't allow them? The game is tied, and we likely find a way to win, knowing this team. It's concerning. It really is concerning. This homestand was very disappointing. The 2 games we won, we barely won, and it kept everybody on pins and needles for us to win them. The games we lost, it was just bad. I hate to say it, but this homestand was dull. I hate to be an asshole, but this homestand was dull. This is not who we want to be. And I'm very disappointed. I am very disappointed about this homestand. So it's probably not worth talking about this homestand anymore because it was a disappointing one. Let's get into naming our star of the week. This one was hard. It was between 2 people. And ultimately, I'm deciding to give it to one because I know we didn't win either of his starts this week, but he was still solid in them. And what he did Monday night automatically makes him a star of the week. So I want to first talk about our star of the week, then I do want to bring up an honorable mention. Obviously, you all know at this point, our star of the week is Paul Skeens. The reason he earned it, he's just been incredible this year. I know I gave him an honorable mention last year kind of as a joke because the whole thing he got for lieutenant governor, he got a couple votes for lieutenant governor in the Republican primary in Westmoreland County as a write-in. If you want to look at the Westmoreland County election results, you'll see it. I talked about this in my video last week, my Legally So last week. If you want to listen to that, take a look at that. But this week really did it for me. He's the star of the week because he's not just a baseball player. He's a community champion. He did not have to do what he did on Monday night, on his off day, the day before he was supposed to make a start. Yet he did it anyway, and he made these kids' days. This is probably going to go down as one of the best experiences, if not the best experience of these kids' childhoods. When they go on dates, or when they go to the homecoming or the prom, when they go out on dates in their adult life, this is something they will talk about. This is something they will remember forever. He's a legend in the Pittsburgh community. I know he has not had his best year. He has still been dominant, though. 2 runs today and 2 runs Tuesday. If you're at a 2-running, he's allowed 2 runs. That is much closer to what his ERA is or was last year than this. The reason it's a run higher, I think, is mostly because of that Mets debacle still, trying to work his way down. He's still an elite dominant pitcher. But for some odd reason, God only knows, we just can't win his starts. And that's not good. That's so not good. So, yeah. That's that. Anyway, though, so Paul Skeens is your star of the week this week. Congrats to Paul. I'll have to write that in the journal later here in a minute. But our honorable mention for this week, I know I mentioned Paul last week as the honorable mention, just as a joke because of the whole lieutenant governor thing, and I thought it was pretty funny. That's why I said it. But this week's honorable mention, he actually heard it as NCAA Team Impact. They're showing all these kids with these children with disabilities, getting recognized and all that. God bless all those with disabilities. So, my heart aches for them. That's just sad to see them live that way, but it's great that the athletes treat them this way. And Pirates Charities for the that was about the NCAA, but Pirates Charities does a good job as well. They always show before the top of the 6th the events that the Pirate Charities do, and they should be proud. This is awesome. This is awesome. Joe Mack, the catcher for the Marlins, it just said on the TV here, he's the first homer off of Paul Skeens' changeup. That's kind of not good, but he's still the star of the week, though, because he's a great person. Monday proved that. Now onto your honorable mention. Your honorable mention this week is Tyler Callahan. He won us that game Wednesday night. I was so impressed. I was debating all week who to give the award to, and it was Skeens because of Monday night and the way he pitched Tuesday and today. But Callahan made a case. I'm so proud of Tyler Callahan. He did great this week. He had a great week. And he showed who he really is, especially on Wednesday. Like, that was his day. So, shout out to Tyler Callahan. He's the honorable mention for Star of the Week. And, yeah, good for him. Now, I'm not going to do honorable mentions every week. It's just the past 2 weeks, I felt like I kind of had to give them because the Skeens one was kind of a joke, obviously. This week, Skeens obviously deserved it because of the whole kids thing, like I said in the 2 starts. However, I think Callahan deserved a shout out as well, so that's why I did it. Anyway, we just did our start of the week now. Let's look at some MLB standings for all you guys here. It is 9:45. Like I said, the earliest I've ever filmed this show. Let's check and see if the game went final yet between the Rangers and the Red Sox. It has not gone final yet. The Rangers lead the Red Sox 6-3. But I expect Texas to win that game. So I'll kind of account on the standings, but I can't really as much. All right, without further ado now, here we go. We are at the 70 game mark for a majority of teams. We hit ours yesterday. We're at 72 right now. And I just want to bring something up because it doesn't impact this week, but it impacts next. After next Thursday afternoon's game against the Mariners, we will officially be halfway through the season. That's a big deal. And like I said on my recap show for this week, the Pirates are at an inflection point right now. They really are. This road trip determines a lot for the rest of the year. It really does. We're at a crossroads for the season. I'm eager to see what happens this road trip. And the other thing is, too, and I should give the Pirates the benefit of the doubt, and I will give the Pirates the benefit of the doubt. It is really tough for them not having guys like Connor Griffin and O'Neill Cruz in the lineup. They're a big part of this team's success, and I understand that. However, you have to find a way to make it work. You can't let injuries derail this thing. You can't. And I think it's more or less the bullpen being an issue. I think that's a bigger problem than Griffin and Cruz being out. But I still think there's somewhat of like a sense of like lack of confidence or like lack of something. I shouldn't have said lack of confidence. Lack of something without them. So take note of that. I will give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But most teams are at the 70 game mark. We have less than 100 games to go on the year. So yeah, let's get into these standings here. AL East time now. I'm just going to breeze through them because we're already at like the 27-minute mark here. I got mine cut off because of storage, so this might be 2 separate videos. I remember I filmed 6 minutes on part 1, and I'm at 21 now, so we're at the 27-minute mark. I want to try to get this done within the next 15 to 20 minutes, and I definitely think we could do that. Let's do standings now real quickly here. Yankees, 43-27, leading the AL East. Second place in the AL East. Oh, by the way, we're starting with the AL East. I should have said that. AL East. Yankees, 43-27. Tampa Bay Rays, 41-27, 1 game back. Blue Jays, 34-38, 10 games back. Orioles, 34-39, 10.5 back. Red Sox, 29-39, potentially 29-40, likely 29-40, but potentially 30-39 at the same time. They are 13 back. It's either going to be the Yankees or the Rays in this division. We all kind of know that, and I think the Yankees will get it done as of now. AL Central, this is a really interesting division. White Sox have a heck of a manager in Aaron Boone. Or, not Aaron Boone. I'm an idiot. Please forgive me for that. Will Venable. They have an amazing manager. He slowly emerged into one of my favorites and one of the best managers in baseball, in my opinion. 38-32. Considering where they were 2 short years ago and where they are now, it's a full 180. So God bless the White Sox. So happy to see them contend once again. They're 38-32 right now. Guardians, you're 39-33. Those two are tied for the division lead at this moment. Twins, 33-40, 6.5 games back of the division lead. Tigers, 29-42. They've gotten a little better recently. 9.5 games back of the division lead. And the Royals, 29-43 at the present moment. They're 10.5 games back. I would say the Tigers and Royals don't have much of a chance at this point. Well, they kind of do, but they really don't unless they get hot. Maybe the Tigers, but I don't think the Royals. Twins still are in it. I think it's going to come down to the White Sox or Guardians. I do, though, expect the Guardians at the end of the day to pull away with that series or with that division. And let's talk now about the AL West, shall we? Mariners, you're leading that division at 37 and 36. Athletics, you're in second at 35 and 36. Rangers are in third at 34 and 36. Again, they're probably going to be 35 and 36, but at the same time, they have the potential to be 34 and 37. So that's a big deal, especially with the wild card the way it is now, the AL. Astros, you're 33 and 40. Angels, you're 29 and 43. Not looking too good for the Halos. A's are 1 game back. Rangers are a game and a half back. Stros are 4 back. Angels, Halos, 7.5 back. Let's talk some NL East now here. Shall we? Just want to say something real quick. NL East time now. Shall we? Braves, they're leading the division, and I think they have the best record in baseball at 46 and 25. That's a big deal for sure. Phillies, you're 38 and 33. You're 8 games back. Nationals, you're 37 and 35, 9.5 back. They're having a good year. Marlins, 36 and 36, 10.5 games back. Again, they're having a good year as well. This whole division's really good. Mets, 32 and 39, 14 games back. Yeah, not so good, but they have the talent for sure, and they've gotten little by little better. I think they'll be at or around 500 this year. It's not going to be as bad as you think. I think the Phillies are the only team right now that could catch Atlanta. I still view it as highly unlikely, and it probably is to the benefit of the Phillies that they're in second place. Because look at 2022 and 2023. They were second, the Braves won the division, and look how far the Phillies got. 2024 and 2025, the Braves were second in 24 and really bad in 25. I think they were actually like fourth, maybe fifth. I think fourth, though. And Phillies won the division, NLDS exit. The 2 years they didn't win the division, they lost the World Series and lost the NLCS. So hopefully this is a good year for the Philadelphia Phillies for sure. So that's a good one. NL Central time now. Let's look at our division. The Milwaukee Brewers are leading that division at 43 and 26. Cardinals, you're 38 and 31, second place. Cubs, 37 and 35 in third place. Cardinals are 5 back. Cubs are 7.5 back. Pirates, tied even at 500, 36 and 36, 8.5 back. And the Reds are 33 and 37, 10.5 games back of the division lead. I think the only team that really probably might catch Milwaukee at this point, knowing our division, is the Cardinals. I don't think the Cubs have it in them, unfortunately, to catch the Brewers. I thought they were going to win the division in the preseason, but they're not in a place right now where they can, most likely. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think we can win this division. I just don't think I think there's a chance, but I don't think we'll be able to pull it off. And then the Reds, yeah, they're the Reds. Alrighty, let's look now at the NL West, shall we? Dodgers, you're leading your division at 45 and 27. Padres, you're in second at 37 and 33, 7 games back. Diamondbacks, 36 and 35, 8.5 back. Giants, 29 and 43, 16 back. And Rockies, 27 and 45, you're 18 games back. So that's interesting for sure. Right now, I think the only team that could probably catch the Dodgers are the San Diego Padres. And even that, I view that as highly unlikely. I think the divisions in the NL, we likely know who's going to win all 3 of them. I think the NL West will 90% beat the Dodgers. Central, 90% the Brewers. They're talking about baptism now on the channel, so that's interesting. That's good, though. God bless. I'm so thrilled with the Fave Revival for sure. And I'm definitely going to try to get those Fave Night videos up for you. I know I talked about them in May. I apologize for not posting them yet still. I'm going to try to get those up ASAP for sure. From 2025 and 26. It's just Cleveland Browns hosting a baptism event. But anyway, I will definitely try to get those up for you soon, for sure. I've just been really busy and I haven't had much time for these channels, but I definitely will make that a priority this coming week or by the end of the month, for sure. And then the Braves in the NL East, winning that division. I think the Braves will win that division. Let's look at the wild card standings now, because this is the most interesting part for sure. Then we will get into, obviously, minor leagues. Alrighty. I know we're at the 34-minute mark, and I don't want to go over an hour, so We'll look into this. AL leaders now. First, leading the American League and the American League East, the number 1 seed, the New York Yankees. Second, leading the AL Central. Sorry, I just got a notification from WTA. There was an unfortunate shooting in Turtle Creek and a teen is in critical condition, so just say a quick prayer for them. God bless that teenager. Hopefully it's okay. But anyway, second place in the AL Central, Chicago White Sox. Not second place in the AL Central, I'm sorry. Second place in the AL and leading the AL Central, the 2 seed, the Chicago White Sox. That's definitely interesting for sure. For sure. Your 3 seed leading the AL West, the Seattle Mariners. So they would have to play a wild card game as of right now. The Yankees and the White Sox will get byes. It still fascinates me to this day how if the season ended today, the White Sox would go from 2024 being historically bad and like the worst team in baseball history to in 2026 earning a playoff bye. Sorry to burp. Bye. Like, that's insane. As the World Cup is on. That looked like a cool stadium. Anyway, let's talk baseball now. I'm going to try to get better at focusing on baseball. I'm easily distracted tonight, as you can tell. Sorry about that. Your AL wild card now. The first AL wild card in the 4th seed, the Tampa Bay Rays. Your second AL wild card in the 5th seed, the Cleveland Guardians. Your third AL wild card and the last team in, as of now, are the Athletics, who we'll talk about here in 10 minutes when we talk about the opponents for the week. If the Rangers win tonight, which I think they will tie them. I don't know if they will pass them, but they will tie them. So that will be a tie for the final AL wildcard. As of right now, the first team out is the Texas Rangers, who are a half game back. But I think they tie the Athletics tonight. By default, that would make the Blue Jays the first team out, who are only a game and a half back. The Orioles are 2 games back. The Twins are 3 games back. The Astros are 3 games back. The Red Sox are 4.5 back. The Tigers are 6 back. The Royals are 6.5 back. The Angels are 6.5 back. I think it's too early as of right now to write any of these teams off. The AL is weird this year and it's very wide open. So think about that. NL time now. Leading the MLB as a whole, the National League and the NL East, the Atlanta Braves. They're your 1 seed. Your 2 seed leading the NL West, the LA Dodgers. Your 3 seed leading the NL Central, the Milwaukee Brewers. Your 4th seed, the first NL wildcard in your 4th seed, as I just said, the St. Louis Cardinals. Your 5th seed, the second NL wildcard, the Philadelphia Phillies. Your 6th seed and the 3rd and final last team in National League wildcard are the San Diego Padres. As of now, your first team out, Washington Nationals, 1 game back. Then you have the Cubs tied with them, 1 game out. Diamondbacks, 1.5 out. Marlins, you're 2 out. Pirates, you're 2 out. Reds, you're 4 out. Mets, you're 5.5 out. Giants, you're 9 out. Rockies, you're 11 out. So yeah, that's interesting for sure. Let's look more at this wild card here. Hang on, I have to think. Tampa Bay is 4 games ahead of Cleveland in the AL for the first wild card spot. Cleveland is like 3.5 ahead of the Athletics and the Rangers for that final wild card spot. And the Athletics and Rangers, if the Rangers win tonight, they'll tie the Athletics, and they will be a game and a half ahead of the Blue Jays for the last wild card. I just noticed I forgot that. That's why I'm bringing it up now. St. Louis is a game ahead of Philadelphia right now for the first NL wildcard spot. Philadelphia is a half a game ahead of San Diego for the second wildcard spot. San Diego is a full game ahead of Washington for the final NL wildcard spot. With that, we're going to look at the hottest team in each league this week. And we're going to look at the coldest team each week for this league. The hottest team in the American League this week at 7-3 are the New York Yankees. The hottest team this week in the National League at 8-2 and at 10-2 in the month of June. Our most recent opponent, the Miami Marlins. So we kind of did catch them at a bad time in a way, and I will give the Pirates the benefit of the doubt on that, for sure. But still, it's not good to lose 2 games at home to a team like that. It's not. The worst team in the American League this week. At 4-6, the Mariners, the Guardians, the Orioles, the Twins, the Red Sox. That's it. And the worst team this week in the National League, or the worst team over the past 10 in the NL, is tied between us and the Rockies. We're in a slump right now. There's no denying it. We're in a slump right now. We're not in a good place. You gotta do something, Donnie. You gotta do something, Ben. It'll be okay. We just gotta get out of the slump and get out of it fast. Let's take a look. As I said, the Braves are the best team in baseball right now. The Rockies are the worst. Let's look and see how our minor league baseball teams are doing. Like I said, we'll do the minor league teams. We'll discuss top prospects, and then we'll look ahead to the series, and we'll call it a so. Or we'll look ahead to the week ahead, and we'll call it a so. Carolina's probably going to win the Stanley Cup, too, so shout out to them. I'm so happy about that. First off, let's check on our AAA affiliate, the Indianapolis Indians. In the International League West, the Indians are 28-41. Unfortunately, they are in last place in that league, a half a game out of second to last behind the Iowa Cubs. We are 15 games out of first, 4-6 over our last 10. Certainly disappointing. For the AA team in Altoona, they are currently 28-35, 2.5. They're in second to last, 2.5 games ahead of Chesapeake, which is good. 6-4 over the past 10. That's what I like to see. So good job there. I'm very happy with that. Good job by Altoona. Now on to our high A team, which is Greensboro. The Greensboro Grasshoppers. They have reclaimed first place over the Frederick Keys. Now they are 40-23, a half game ahead of the Keys for first place. And we are 7-3 over our last 10 on a 3-game win streak. Good to see for sure. For our single A team in the Florida State League is the Bradenton Marauders. They're 29-33. They've kind of had a fall off, and that's disappointing for sure. They're 29-33. They're 9.5 back, and they're 4-6 over the past 10, which is very concerning. I'm not happy about that. For our rookie leagues, let's first stop at the Dominican Summer League. DSL Pirates Gold is 4-6 to start the season. 2 games out of first. There's one more, I'm sorry. DSL Pirates Black is 6-4. 1 game out of first of Giants Orange to start the year. In the Pirates Gold section, Orioles Orange is in first. And for the Florida Complex League, this is rookie ball, by the way. As it loads. The Florida Complex League Pirates are 17-14, free back at first of the Rays, and unfortunately they are 3-7 over their past 10, which is not good. That's a problem. But still 17-14, third place, 3 games out of first is not bad at all. Even though they're 3-7, that's not bad. And that's it. That is all C wrote for your minor league standings. So some teams are doing good, really good, especially Greensboro, which is where our top guys are. Our next big wave of prospects that are good, which is coming in 28, 29, which I'm very excited about for sure. Can't wait for that, so I'm fired up. Let's go. And yeah. That's good, but there's not much coming up now, unfortunately. It is what it is for now. It'll get better in 2 or 3 years, so let's make the most out of this now. I'm not going to spend much time on the top prospects here. I'm just going to run through the top 10 here real quickly for you guys. Like sometime around either July 26th or August 3rd, I will run for all 30 of them because of the trade deadline, obviously, but we're not doing that yet. It's June 14th. That's still 6-7 weeks away. But you've got to start playing for it now. You've got to with this bullpen. I'm just going to run for the top prospects, and then I will tell you obviously the top 10, what level they're at, and their ETA. Then we'll get into the pitching, or we'll get into the week ahead, and then we'll call it out. Anyway, although we are early tonight, so it's not that bad that we're going overtime, but it is what it is. Your top-ranked prospect for the Pirates, right-handed pitcher, Seth Hernandez. He's in high A Greensboro right now. Estimated time of arrival, still 2028. Second, Edward Florentino, outfielder, first base. High A right now, Greensboro. Estimated time of arrival, still 2028, which is great. That's good to see for sure. That's why high A is so good, I'm guessing. Third, Hunter Barco, pitcher, AAA, obviously 2026. I don't think this is the last time we see him up here. I think we see him again probably one more time in the pros. And then they make a decision. But that's just life. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know if you want to possibly consider trading him at the deadline. If you want to give him one last shot and see how that goes, and then you make a decision whether or not he's part of the future or not. I don't think they trade him at all, but I do want to see him maybe in the majors sooner rather than later with how this bullpen has been recently. So, Hunter Barco, AAA 2026. Youngston Garcia, the password, he's in AAA, still 2026. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see him again soon when something comes up. Terramar Johnson's fifth, second base, AAA 2026. I don't think this experiment has worked out as well as it should have. I'm concerned when Lau leaves. If we got to keep Lau, put it at that. We got to find a way to keep Brandon Lau because I don't think that this experiment is working with Johnson. You got to at least consider something. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. I mean, he was good. Put it this way, he came out of high school, so maybe give him the benefit of the doubt there, but still not good enough to call him up yet. Hopefully, I'm seeing right now, Brewers got Christopher Sanchez. That Brewers team is scary, man. That Brewers team is real freaking good. That team's dominant. We're not going to talk about the Brewers, though. We'll talk about them in July when they come. Terramar Johnson, it's definitely an SU. Like, you're either going to do one of two things. Or three things. A, you're going to re-sign Brandon Lau, which is my preferred option, but I don't know if they could do that financially. B, you're going to move Nikki G back to second base and look for a third baseman. That's my second option. It's another good option for him because that helps you at second, and you could go get somebody at third, then solve that problem. Or you put Trillo at third. And then your third option is call up Terramar Johnson, which I'm not in the mood to call him up. I don't think it's time yet for him. I hate to say it, I just don't. So, yeah. That's your other option. 6th, Wyatt Sanford, shortstop, high A, 2028. 7th, Antoine Kelly, who we saw this week. He didn't do bad, but he didn't do great against the Marlins on Friday night, making his major league debut. That was interesting for sure. High A, 2026. I'm sure we'll see him again this year. So that's interesting. There's going to be a lot of home runs in Las Vegas. I'm just watching our two opponents this week. Rockies and Athletics. Kind of did some scouting here because we're going to talk about them in a couple minutes. Rockies and Athletics, they played games in Vegas this week, kind of like just like your welcome to Vegas, like little preview orientation for when the A's get there. 22 runs by the Rockies in Vegas. So that place is going to be a hitter's park, and I can't wait for Vegas baseball. So that'll be good for sure. With the way our hitting is, I wish we were included in that series and we got to play out Vegas, but it's unfortunate that we're the series after, but oh well. Would have loved to see Brandon Lau hit some home runs there, for sure. It sucks, though, because obviously KG and O'Neill are hurt, so it definitely wouldn't feel the same going into Heavy Hitters Park, like Vegas or somewhere like that, without KG and O'Neill. It just wouldn't. Like, those are the guys I want in Heavy Hitters Parks. So that's that. Your sixth prospect, Wyatt Sanford, shortstop, high A, 2028. Yeah, I've heard rumblings about him being the next the next second baseman. Maybe he is the next second baseman, but if not, this is somebody who I would consider a trade deadline talks. Obviously, seventh Kelly, like we just said. Eighth is Rafael Flores Jr. Shout out to him. He hit his first major league home run this week, so congratulations to Rafael Flores Jr. as well. Catcher, first baseman, AAA, 2026. Maybe this is somebody you could trade as well, because I know we just got him in the Bednar trade, and I know he was the centerpiece of that trade. However, here's the thing. Endy, I think, is your future catcher. He's the man, and he's the future. So I think you have to keep that into account here. You have Endy, you have Henry Davis. Joey Bart's hurt, but something's going to have to be done about him, too, for his spot, but I think Flores is the odd man out, and I think you have to look into somewhat maybe dealing him here at the deadline for a bullpen arm. Just like the Yankees did with us last year. Ninth is Maryland Valdez, outfielder, first baseman. MLB, obviously, he's due in 2027, but it's good to see him now. That's good. And 10th is Sammy Stafora, who was acquired in the Cabrian Hayes trade. Shortstop, high A, 2028. So now Stafora and Sanford are together in high A, and they both have 2028 times. So here's the other thing. If they're both shortstops, and they're both going to stay at shortstop for the long run, and they're both going to be shortstops likely in the majors, Sanford and Stafora, you have your long-term shortstop locked up now. You need to trade one of those guys for bullpen help. Because we have our long-term shortstop. There might be a situation in 2 years like where they're really good, but they're blocked from getting to the majors because of Connor Griffin, and that's a good reason to block them from getting to the majors. However, you got to maybe trade them to get a bullpen arm, because bullpen is the one thing that is ruining this season and is putting it down. So you've got to do something there. And then, like I said, we'll talk about more of these prospects once the deadline hits. Alrighty, we are at the 51-minute mark now. So I'm going to just do this real quick. We're going to wrap this show up by looking ahead to the week ahead here, and then I'm going to call it a show at about 1 hour. This is definitely our longest show for sure, mostly because I got distracted with the TV and everything. The TV's actually going off now because I'm going to take a shower since it's done. Alrighty, let's look ahead to the week ahead. Some games this week out west against the Athletics. Monday, June 15th, tomorrow night, 9:40. Tuesday, June 16th, 9:40, and Wednesday, June 17th, 9:40. That's your series against the Athletics for this season. Then we'll conclude our season series against the Rockies, Friday, June 19th at 8:40, Saturday, June the 20th at 9:10, that's a late one, and Sunday, June 21st at 3:10 p.m. So that's your road trip for you. 6 nice games here. Let's look at the starting pitchers likely for this, and then I will hopefully make a record goal. Well, this past week it was 4-2. We went nowhere near 4-2 this past week, which was definitely disappointing for sure. Let's get this. Let's get these pitchers up, and then I'll make my record. Hopefully my record goal, record prediction for the week. And then we will wrap this up. Alrighty, let's look and see. Jared Jones on the mound tomorrow for us, 4.7 free ERA. JT Ginn is on the mound for the Athletics, 3.15 ERA. That's Monday. That's tomorrow. For Tuesday. For Tuesday night. CBS acknowledging Freedom 250 up top. Shout out CBS. That's where I get these pictures from, by the way. Mitch Keller's on the mound Tuesday night. No surprise. 5.14 ERA. Jack Perkins on the mound for the Athletics. 6.25. For Wednesday, Ashcraft will all but certainly be on the mound Wednesday night for us. Hang on. Just let me confirm their start. It'll be Ashcraft with a 3.30 ERA against Aaron Tavalli with a 4.20 ERA. Let's go to Friday now in Colorado. Thursday's the day off. They're going to travel from Sacramento to Denver. Let's look for Friday night now. Bubba Chandler is on the mound for us Friday night. Should not be much surprise. 4.76 ERA. Cal Freeland on the mound for Colorado. 7.98 ERA. Saturday is a Skeens day. It'll be Paul Skeens on the mound for us with a 2.84 ERA against Tomoyuki Sagano with a 4.08 ERA. And Sunday for the series and season finale with the Rockies. This is actually the first NL team we won't have to play again after Sunday, so yeah. Time flies. This season has flown, for sure. And on Sunday, it'll be Jared Jones for the Pirates. He will be with a 4.73. He'll be opposed by Michael Lorenzen with a 7.54 ERA. So that's that. I'm expecting the Athletics series is a toss-up. I could see us going 2-1, but I think it's more likely that we go 1-2 and officially fall below 500 for the first time since April 1st out there, just because it's in their stadium and they're even like with us. I think that we'll go 1-2 against the Athletics, and I think we go 2-1 against the Rockies. That would be a good trip. That's what my expectation is. And I expect them to get at least 3 wins, and I think they will get at least 3 wins. I think 4 is pushing it considering the way things are going right now, and especially with this bullpen out in Denver. That's going to be brutal. But I don't think that 4 is unreasonable. I think you're probably going to get 3. I do. I'm really nervous to get out to Denver with this bullpen. I am. And Sacramento. It's going to be a big test for them. We'll see what happens, though. Like, this road trip could be very ugly. I hate to say it, this road trip could be very ugly. I don't think it will be. Just win 3 games and come back here, and you're fine. And I actually think this is a fine place to wrap the show. We're at about 56 minutes, nearing an hour. That's all I got for you guys today. Next week's show, we will discuss the future of Pirates Live 412, which should be a great opening monologue or a great little opening talk. It will be about an hour next week because this is going to be a little bit like this. My opening's going to be a while and then just all this talk. So it will probably be over an hour next week, the weekly show. But anyway, we're going to discuss. I try to get these done as quick as possible, but it's just, I don't know. I like to talk. This is the one time a week I get to really talk about the Pirates a whole lot. So yeah, we're going to discuss the future of Pirates Live 412, recap series against the Athletics and the Rockies, name our star of the week for the series against the Athletics and the Rockies, look at the MLB standings, look at our minor league standings, see how they're doing, check in on our top prospects again, and then preview the upcoming homestand with the Seattle Mariners and the Cincinnati Reds. It'll be a fun episode for sure. I can't wait to see you guys on it. That's all I have for you guys tonight. We got this one done earlier than expected. 10:17. It's not even midnight when we got this done, so that's good to see for sure. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. And as always, peace and God bless. See you guys next week for the Sunday show. I can't freaking wait, guys. Bye. Have a good week. Take care.